The dispatch crackled through the radio just past 2:16 a.m. on a cold Thursday morning. Unit 14, welfare check requested at the Riverbend RV Park. Caller reports a minor child seen alone near Lot 27, possible neglect situation. I was already halfway through my shift, sipping lukewarm coffee in the patrol SUV, but that code made my spine straighten. Welfare check, minor, alone. When you've been in this job long enough, you develop a radar for when something isn't just a misunderstanding. Something about the tone in the dispatcher's voice, clipped, nervous, told me this wasn't your average call. I threw the cup into the passenger seat holder, clicked on the light bar, and pulled out of the empty gas station lot. The Riverbend RV Park was about 15 minutes from my position. Quiet stretch of dirt road, nestled behind a forgotten fishing lake, mostly populated by seasonal campers and transients. It wasn't the kind of place you wanted to end up after dark, not because it was dangerous, but because no one would hear you if something went wrong. I rolled past the darkened lot slowly, looking for signs of life. Lot 27 sat at the far end, near the line, one old white RV with peeling paint and no porch light on, completely still, no bikes out front, no toys, no shoes, by the steps nothing that would hint at a child even living there. But then I saw it. A movement, a small shape crouched behind the propane tank near the side of the RV. As I eased the patrol SUV forward and angled the headlights, the shape ducked out of view. I keyed the mic. Dispatch, this is Unit 14. I have visual on a minor near Lot 27 requesting backup. Situation may involve endangerment or possible abduction. Stand by. I exited the vehicle slowly, bodycam active, hand hovering over the holster but not yet drawn. Hey there, I called softly. It's okay. I'm with the sheriff's department. You alright? There was a pause. Then, a child's voice, no older than 8 or 9, cracked out from the darkness. He told me not to talk to anyone. He said they'll take me away again. That line nearly stopped me in my tracks. I knelt, voice low and calm. You're not in trouble, alright? I just want to make sure you're safe. What's your name? She stepped into the headlights slowly, hair tangled. My name's Ellie, she whispered. My dad's inside. I could hear the backup pulling in behind me, gravel crunching under tires. I nodded slightly toward the second unit as it parked. Deputy Morales stepped out, already picking up on the tension. I gave her a look. Stay silent. Let the girl talk. Ellie, I said gently, is your dad home right now? She nodded. Did he hurt you? Another shake of the head, but this one was slower. I think he's not really my dad, she said finally. That's what the lady at the gas station said yesterday. She asked if I was okay and then gave me candy and said she'd call for help. I didn't tell him. Behind me, Morales keyed her radio. We've got probable cause for entry, requesting SWAT for breach. RV may contain suspect in possession of minor under suspicious circumstances. The RV door creaked open slightly. We both turned at the same time. A man stepped out, maybe mid-40s, wearing cargo pants and a flannel shirt. Thick beard, ball cap pulled low. He raised his hands slowly, but something about the way he moved, it was too practiced, too calm. Officers, he said evenly, I think there's been some sort of misunderstanding. My daughter's just a little shaken. She gets like that around strangers. Sir, I said, leveling my voice, step away from the RV. Keep your hands where I can see them. He took a single step down the stairs. You don't need to point weapons at me. She's my blood. You can check the paperwork. Morales moved toward the RV, flanking the other side. I kept my eyes on him, but something wasn't sitting right. His face. I'd seen it before, somewhere, not in person, but then it hit me. The training bulletin. 2 months ago, we got an insurgency alert about a man suspected in an interstate child abduction ring, used fake IDs, moved between RV parks, always claimed to be the father. The man in front of me matched the composite sketch almost exactly, and then he moved quick. His hand darted toward his waistline. Hands, don't move. Morales drew instantly. I closed the gap and tackled him backward down the steps. We hit the gravel hard, his elbow scraping against the edge of the aluminum steps as I cuffed him roughly. Morales retrieved a folding knife from under his waistline, spring-loaded, concealed behind his belt buckle. He didn't say another word. When we swept the RV, we found a stack of forged birth certificates, multiple children's IDs, and a duffel bag full of burner phones. Most damning, a hidden compartment beneath the floor panel near the bed. Inside were 3 prepaid bus tickets, none of which had Ellie's name on them. When Child Protective Services arrived, Ellie asked only one question. Can I go with the lady from the gas station instead? We told her she'd be safe now, because every now and then, even after all the training, it's not the shootouts or the chases that stick with you. It's the sound of a scared child whispering, "I don't think he's really my dad." From the moment dispatch relayed the unit's silent command to breach, the wind around the RV seemed to stall. The front door hung crooked on its hinges, the lock obliterated by the battering ram moments earlier. Inside, the darkness was stifling, lit only by the shifting cones of the team's helmet flashlights. It smelled like a mix of mildew, stale cigarette smoke, and something else, something far worse. Sweep left. Watch the corner. The lead officer barked as two others moved in tandem, guns raised, slicing the room with precision. A narrow hallway split the RV lengthwise, the kitchen to the left, and a small seating area to the right. But what drew their focus was the heavy sheet nailed crudely over the back sleeping quarters. It wasn't just the sheet that set alarms. Ringing it was the muffled crying behind it. The youngest officer, Garcia, stepped forward and pulled it back in one quick motion. Behind it, in the dim beam of light, were two figures huddled together. A girl, maybe 11 years old, clung to her younger brother like a life raft. Both were pale, wide-eyed, and clearly terrified. "Hey there, you're safe now. No one's going to hurt you," Garcia said softly, lowering his rifle and extending his gloved hand. "Can you tell me your names?" The girl's lips trembled. "I'm Maddie." "That's Eli. Please don't let him come back." Garcia looked at his commanding officer and gave a slight nod. "Clear this area," came the order, as backup arrived to escort the children out of the RV and into the care of Child Protective Services waiting nearby. The rest of the unit pushed deeper, inspecting every inch of the vehicle. Inside the drawers and under floorboards, they found piles of burner phones, multiple IDs with different names all featuring the same man's face. A laptop hidden in a vent held encrypted files, and the team secured it for forensic analysis. Outside, the suspect was still sitting on the ground, hands zip-tied behind his back. He hadn't said a word since his failed sprint. His expression had changed from defiance to something more calculating, like he was already weighing his options. Officer Daniels crouched down next to him. "Those kids your kids?" he asked, his voice flat and unreadable. The man smirked, lips cracked from dehydration. "You don't get it. I'm the only one who ever protected them. From the system, from the government, from people like you." Daniels stared at him for a long beat, then stood. "You're going away for a long time." As the mobile crime unit rolled in, the forensic team began collecting evidence from the RV. Each new item uncovered more of a twisted story: photos, medical documents, even printed court notices marked sealed. The suspect had gone off the grid years ago after losing custody in a high-profile case involving serious abuse allegations. He had faked his own disappearance and kidnapped his biological children, disappearing into backward circuits and campgrounds, hopping from state to state in this rusted RV. What made it worse? The children were reported dead 3 years ago. Faked deaths, it turned out. He had staged the scene in an abandoned house in Montana, using clothing, planted DNA, and media manipulation. A massive manhunt had taken place, but no trace of him or the kids was found. Until tonight. The story exploded across news networks within hours. "Predator Dad Found Alive and Kids Rescued After 3 Years Off the Grid," blared the headline on national broadcasts. Footage from the bodycams was redacted for public release, but snippets leaked online, especially the moment the girl cried out for help from behind the curtain. It ignited both horror and relief across the country. Meanwhile, back at the precinct, the suspect sat in the interrogation room, staring at the mirrored wall. The moment the lead detective entered with the laptop evidence in hand, he finally spoke. "They'll never forgive you," he whispered. "You've broken something that can't be fixed." But the detective didn't flinch. "Maybe not, but we found them, and that's enough." Legal teams immediately filed dozens of federal charges: kidnapping, identity fraud, child endangerment, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy. The list kept growing as digital forensic teams began cracking into his encrypted files. What they found, law enforcement later said, would form the basis of multiple state and federal indictments that could span decades. As for Maddie and Eli, their road to healing had just begun. Placed into a secure foster care program with psychological support, the community rallied around them. Donations poured in, and advocacy groups offered every resource possible to help them recover. It would take time, maybe years. But one thing was certain: the nightmare was over. And it all began with a suspicious RV, a routine traffic stop, and a hunch that something didn't feel right. Sometimes, what's hiding in plain sight is the most dangerous thing of all.